What's up, everybody? Kyle Barboza here, bass player, music educator, and today I've got two fresh exercises for you that work on what I think is the most important technique when it comes to playing the bass with fluidity. And what I'm talking about is left-hand shifting. The ability to shift around the bass, up and down, really smoothly, and again, fluidly. So, here we go. This first exercise I'm going to show you is it's a little bit of a meat and potatoes exercise. It's not the most musical thing, but it's actually pretty fun. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick one string. I'm going to pick the G string for this exercise. And you're going to either go up and down from your first finger to your fourth finger like this, fret by fret, or from your fourth finger to your first finger. Pick one of those. For this exercise, I'm going to go up from first finger to fourth finger. And you're going to do a walking bass line. And when you get to the fourth finger from the first finger, you're going to shift to another part of the bass. It can be up or down, and it can be anywhere. Okay, but here's the thing, all right? So it sounds kind of random, but here's what makes it not random. You're going to do three things with this exercise. There are three rules. The first rule is that wherever you shift on the neck, whether it be up or down, your eyes have to lead your hand there first. So your eyes are going to stare at one of the frets, your next position, and then your hand goes to your eye. Okay, so for example, I'm going to start in fifth position here on the fifth fret, and I'm looking at this 10th fret right there. Okay, so I'm looking at the 10th fret, I go to the 10th fret. I'm going to look at the 3rd fret, I go to the 3rd fret. Look at the 12th fret, go to the 12th fret. Look at the 9th fret, look at the 7th fret. So I'm looking well before my hand gets there. That's the first rule. The second rule is I'm going to shift my hand as late and as quickly as possible so as not to leave any space between my notes. Okay, so what I mean by that is I'm going to wait for the very last second between this note and my next note, okay? So there's a huge difference in sound between this that space between each position and this. Now I'm going to try to make it so that the sound has no space between it. Okay? See how fast I'm moving my hand and how late I'm moving my hand. I'm not making my rhythms late. I'm moving my hand at the last possible second because in position shifting, the later and the faster that you can shift your left hand, the smoother and more fluid you're going to sound. The third rule of this exercise is going to be that when I shift my hand, I am always touching the string. My hand never actually comes off the string. For example, if I'm shifting from here to here, right? Fourth finger on the 7th fret, first finger on the 9th fret. Check it out. My hand, you can hear it on the string, right? Okay, I'm kind of exaggerating, but my hand is always in contact with the string. So you're going to do this exercise as slow as you need to do to complete those three tasks. And that whole idea of keeping your hand on the string when you shift, first of all, you can hear the string noise a little bit, but you're not going to hear that in a mix when you're playing that with other instruments. And even when you're playing solo, a lot of times you're not going to hear a lot of that string noise. So it is okay to have a little bit of string noise when you're doing this exercise because I've got round wound strings. But what you're trading off for that little tiny bit of string noise is that fluidity. It's that legato sound, that ability to play smooth. So really, really go as slow as you need to go to make sure that you're shifting low and fast. All right, I'll show you from fourth finger down to the first finger here. I'm going to start on the 12th fret. I'm looking, I'm leaning my hand, I'm staying in contact with the string, and I'm moving as fast as I need to make the sound smooth. Okay? All right, you do not have to go at that speed. I want you to go slow enough to where you're doing those three things accurately, and you will start seeing an improvement. This is not a 10-minute exercise, 15-minute. This is a 5-minute exercise at most. Okay, don't do any more than that. It's a quick warm-up exercise. Get your fingers warmed up too, so this is a good one to put at the beginning of your routine. Okay, second exercise I'm going to show you is a little more musical, all right? But it's a little more challenging. This one involves two strings, all right? I'm going to, you can pick a root note anywhere. I would stay on the top three strings. Just you'll see why in a second, just because we're going to be playing chords, so the E string might sound a little muddy, but you can do this anywhere, okay? I'm going to pick this D here. I'm going to put my first finger on the root note. And this exercise involves playing a major triad on two strings. So I'm going to play the first and the third of the major triad. So in D major triad would be D, F sharp, and A. And the way you can find that on the same string is if you go up two whole steps or two steps in the major scale, you get to your major third. So I'm going to go from the root to the major third, specifically with my third finger. Okay, so let me show you. First finger, and then I'm going to shift up with my third finger to the F sharp. Okay, so first, third, and then I'm going to play the fifth with my first finger. Then I'm going to go back down the arpeggio. Okay, so that's the first part of the exercise. So here it is again. First finger, third finger, first finger, third finger. Now I'm going to go back to the root, but I'm going to play a power chord between the root and the fifth. Okay? And then I'm going to play a chord between the third and the fifth, like that, okay? Again, with these two fingers, first and third finger. Okay? So here's the exercise in completion. Major triad, then power chord, then the third and the fifth, okay? Now here's the rules of this exercise. When you get to the chords, okay, even when you get to the arpeggio and the chords, all the notes, you're going to make sure that you are accurately placing the part of your finger that you want to place on the string, which is, for bass, for me, it's like almost on the tip of the finger. I don't necessarily play on the very tip of my finger on bass. I play kind of with a little bit of the meat of the finger, but toward the tip, okay? I'm going to make sure that I'm getting that on all of my notes, okay? When I get to the power chord, same thing, near the tip of the finger, okay? When I do my chord in the third, I'm making sure that I'm playing the strings on that part of my finger, okay? Let me dig in a little bit. You probably see the indents on my fingers, all right? So I have to cut that out if you can't see it, but I hope you could see that. But anyway, so on this exercise, rather than thinking, okay, I'm going to go as fast as I can go, like that, see, even I'm missing it at that speed, I'm going to go slow enough to where I'm being accurate. So, and you might, on this one, you might have to take some time between the chords, stop it, move your hand, and then do it. Okay, take your time. You don't have to do it in rhythm. Do it out of rhythm if you need to. Again, we're looking for accuracy, finger accuracy on this one. All right? And then as you get comfortable with it and accurate with your fingers, then you can, do it a little faster. All right? You can also do this one on minor triads as well. It's a little different, and it's a little easier maybe, but if I did a D minor triad, it would look like this. So I'm going to do 1, 4, 3, 4 for my triad. And then the power chord. And then I'm going to shift to 1, 1. Ooh, I almost pegged you off there. I'm going to shift to the second finger and the first finger. It's the New England in me coming out there for a second. So, yeah, the chords would look like this on a minor triad. You see how that's the finger shift I want you to do. Okay, major, minor. Okay, so kind of a chord exercise, but mostly, again, this is a hand shifting exercise, and you can do this in any way. You can go up one major triad, go down a fret, again, I'm leading my hands with my eyes. Oops. Leading the hands. And then you can also do it without looking. It's a good test. Okay, so this is a nice little exercise. I could have been a little more accurate with my fingers there, but nice little exercise. So yeah, that's it, guys. Very simple exercises, but a couple minutes a day on these. I can't tell you how much I think position shifting is kind of a neglected skill among bass players, because we kind of try to get away with playing like horizontally on the neck a lot. But like in the little intro tune that I did in this video, for example, let me just show you like the two different sounds. When you're able to shift vertically on the bass, you can get different textures from your notes that I think sound really good. Like for example, if I played that little tune that I played horizontally on the neck, it would sound like this. Doesn't sound bad. That little chord doesn't sound bad, right? I didn't have to shift and I played it all in one position. But I like the sound. See how that's a little bit warmer on the D string like that? I make decisions like that a lot when I'm playing different bass lines and different like fills and melodies. I make decisions like that a lot, and I can do it confidently because I'm used to shifting. So I really think this is a great skill to work on. Yeah, that's about what I got for you. Go ahead and try those two exercises. I will talk to you guys in a week. Yeah, a lot of exciting stuff coming down the pike. That's all I'm going to say. And by the way, I still have a couple slots left. For private lessons next month starting in June. So if you are at all interested in working on, your electric bass skills, anything, styles, soloing, improvising, jazz, rock, bass lines, whatever, I am down to work on that with you. Email me. My email's in the description. I will put a video that has some general information about my lessons in the description, and you can email me any questions. I'll get you whatever information you need. Yeah, that's about it. All right, that's all the housekeeping. See you guys next time.